Welcome, everyone. My name is Billy Talley, CEO of Teleconnect, and I'll be your host today. We're glad you're here, whether you're watching live or by replay. Today, we're talking about UCaaS for restaurants with our special guest, Mike Baillargeon from Polaris. So let's get started, Mike.
Amazing. Thanks, Billy. All right. Billy, first of all, I love this title that you put together, right? It really blends in what Teleconnect is all about
Yes.
communication. And then what the restaurant industry is all about is serving great quality food with great conversation. So I think this is has a lot of great synergy for everybody. But before we begin, Billy, give us the big speech. Tell us about Teleconnect and what you all do.
So Teleconnect is a single source telecommunications solutions provider. Um, we're we're known kind of as a trusted advisor with about 200 different vendors in our portfolio. So we help customers find the right technology for their business.
Awesome. And that goes across multiple swim lanes, right? From phone
Right?
systems to contact center to mobility to Wi-Fi, etc.
Yes.
All right, awesome. Right. Sounds like a one-stop shop, Billy. Awesome. All right. So let's talk about the recipe for a great experience, both for a diner perspective as well as a staff perspective. And there's four categories that we're going to focus in on today. The first is unified communication. We're going to define that a little bit, how that's changed. Then we're going to talk about connectivity. Then we're going to do a sneak peek for next month's video and what that topic is. Then we're going to talk about how to create a better diner experience. And, you can't turn on the news, you can't open a newspaper without seeing AI, right? It's UC, it's
Right.
CC, it's AI, it's oh my, right? It's everywhere. So how can a restaurant take advantage of AI tools? Might not be ready for it today, but it's something you can definitely think about as we progress. All right, Billy, would you guys call yourself a specialist with unified communications? Something that you do every day for all your clients?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Now, so what's changed is when you just say unified communication, when you said that 10 years ago, you were really talking about an on-premises phone system for the most part. Is that fair?
Right. Correct.
Right. So yeah, so you had this what I used to call the big black box in the basement, right? So, Billy, you've been down there, you've seen all the crazy wiring, cabling, and that was the phone system, right? You had one set of wires that go to user, you had another set of wires that went out to, CenturyLink or Lumen now or AT&T, whatever.
Right.
The twist now, Billy, is it's now unified communications, but as a service. So in our world, whenever you see the term as a service, think of that as a monthly subscription. So in the old days, you would own the phone system and kind of keep it for 10 years and deal with the good, the bad, and the ugly of it because you owned it. But now it's a subscription. And because it's a subscription, what we're finding is the suppliers who offer that, they kind of have to earn their paycheck every month. Because if you're not happy with the service, you're not going to pay your bill. So what we really like about UCaaS providers is they work really hard to make sure you're a happy customer. Now, the good news, Billy, is you help with that, right? You're always involved with your customers during the deployment and post deployment process. Is that fair to say?
Yes. Yes. Every step of the way.
Good.
Any
And that's
change,
super.
any adds or changes they need? Yes.
Yeah, and that's super important as you move away from the on-premises phone system to the cloud. It might sound ominous or scary. It's really not. It's actually pretty easy. But what is important is you have that phone a friend, right? And that's what Billy and the Teleconnect team really are for you, is no question too easy, no question too hard. He's really there to be your partner in this journey. Now, so what is unified communication as a service? So simply put, super simple, it's a cloud-based phone system. It's offered at a monthly fee, and you get all the features, and it includes all minutes inbound and outbound. So in the old days with the on-premises system, you'd have to kind of buy feature by feature or kind of do an upgrade, and then you'd have to pay CenturyLink for incoming calls and outgoing calls. Well, the idea of this cloud system is, hey, why not make it easy? Why not make it one or two SKUs and give all the features that someone would need, right? The easy stuff, make a call, take a call, conference, transfer, call park, etc. But then add in some advanced features like a mobile app, like a desktop app, like integration to third-party ERP or POS systems. And the big part is all your calls in and all your calls out are included. So, so as we look at this, there's definitely some cost savings on one end, and some incursions of cost on the other end.
Right.
Now, when people say, "Okay, hey Billy, listen, my on-prem, my I'm gonna throw one at you, buddy. My Avaya partner system, right? I mean, there must be a million of those out there in
Right.
pizza shops and bars and restaurants across the globe. My Avaya partner system has been with me for 15 years. Why should I go? Why should I change now? And it's a great question. It's an important question for us to answer. Um, Really, the idea is a cloud-based solution offers four really key fundamental changes from an on-site system. One, it's scalability when it comes to incoming calls, right? That on-site phone system has only so many lines, right, Billy? It's like you get two
Right.
lines, you got four lines. So when the fifth customer calls and here's a busy signal from Bill's Pizza, guess what they do? They hang up and they call Sal's Pizza. And if there's no busy signal, they order that way. So think of this as a system with unlimited number of calls that come in. Now we'll address that a little later in the program about what we can do if things get a little too crazy. Um, the other thing that's great about this is easy to manage. Now you always got Billy in your back pocket, you got his team in your back pocket to help you manage things. Let's say there's a hurricane comes in, you need to close for the day. How do I put a close message when callers call in to order? Billy and his team, they're all over that, so it's easy to manage for you. But again, you always have Teleconnect. It's mobile friendly. I love this one. Okay. Yeah. As much as, as a restaurant manager, you'd love to stand at that podium and seat guests. That's really not your job, right? You're expediting, you're greeting guests, you're handling escalations, right? You're in the freezer, grabbing food, throwing it over to the chefs. Wouldn't it be great that if there was an escalation by phone, or maybe the phone was just going crazy, couldn't keep up, on your cell phone was a mobile app that was connected to the store? So think of this, right? You have two people up front, they're both taking orders. All of a sudden, a third caller calls in and you're running around. Wouldn't it be great to just hop on your mobile phone, pick that up? Hey, John's Pizza, how can I help you? Yeah, man, happy to get that order for you. Let me run over to a computer where I can put that in for you. Right? Think about the power of being mobile. Now, here's the other thing. Let's say you have 5 rooftops. Wouldn't it be great if your district manager could communicate with, could be anywhere in those rooftops, in those franchises, in those stores, um, and be able to answer questions at any time? So think of the possibilities. Billy, the last one is uptime, right? And this is something that is super important, because you've had that partner system for 15 years, and you can count on one hand how many times it went down, right?
Right.
So it's important when you work with Billy. Billy has access to over 80 UCaaS providers. Think about that. He has access to over 80. Now, he's not going to bring you 80 providers when you say, Billy, I need a new phone system. No, he's going to know who works well in the restaurant industry, who is easy to manage, who has high uptime, who offers super redundancy. That's his job, right? His job is to know those suppliers and who are really great. What we found with UCaaS providers is the platform's super stable. Where the disconnect sometimes is maybe your internet's not great. We're going to talk about that in the next slide. But what if the internet goes out, right? A fiber seeking backhoe takes out your internet in front of your office, and now your phone system is down. Or is it? Remember, you have that mobile app. So now all the calls that should be coming in to the 2 or 3 desks in the front are now on that mobile app. So even though if something catastrophic happens outside your building, out of your control, you're still taking calls, driving revenue. UCaaS is flexible and it really caters to restaurants that are on the go and move quickly. Hey Billy, any use cases, any restaurants you may have sold to recently with UCaaS, and what did that look like?
We just did a 5 location. It happens to be a pizza shop,
All right.
and one of their use cases is that they needed to, as calls came in, to redirect the calls that they were going to their catering and their food truck away from their counter people because they're trying
Yeah.
to take orders there in the restaurant. So we were able to set up their catering guy as a virtual extension with that mobile app we were talking about. Right. So now he can answer from wherever he's at.
Yeah, amazing. So in theory, I could take catering orders at 2 in the afternoon or two in the morning. Is that fair?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah, amazing. 24/7 revenue. Love it.
Right.
Now
Of course,
Billy, what
catering guy doesn't want to answer the phone after at night, so they go to a voicemail, which is transcribed to him in an email, so he doesn't miss any catering calls.
Perfect. That's even better. I don't know about you, Billy, but I haven't listened to a voicemail in probably 15 years. Every voicemail I get
Right.
is transcribed for me. So when I just look at it, I read it. If it's super important, call them back. If it's not important or a robocall, I hit delete. So it's fantastic. It's a huge time saver. Huge time saver. Now, Billy, is it fair to say that the quality of the UCaaS voice is directly linked to the quality of the internet connection? Is that fair to say?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Right. And internet connections have really changed. If you haven't talked to Billy in the last 3 years about your internet connection, one, I guarantee you're overpaying. Two, I guarantee Billy can get you for less money, twice the speed you have today. That's one area. I tend not to say, hey, you put in this UCAS solution, we're going to save you money. I don't like to say that because it's not always true, but the value of the UCAS goes beyond the cost. For internet connectivity, Billy, we can almost say that if you haven't changed your internet in the last 3 years, we can save you money. Is that fair?
For as long as I've been in business, that's one thing I've never seen the price go up on. Bandwidth
Yeah,
goes up,
right.
price goes down.
Yeah, love it. Love it. All right. So phone a friend, right? Billy, give Billy
All
a
right.
call. Even if you don't looking for a new phone system, if you're watching this on replay or if you're watching it live, um, it's free to call Billy and say, listen, can you get me a better my internet connectivity? And that's what he does every day. Now, as a sneak peek for next month's Teleconnect Business Solutions IT review, it's all about securing the connections. We're not going to spend too much time here, but it's something that's important to think about is how to secure the connections from the internet, from your facility out to the real world. But the other part is, please don't think that you guys are too small for ransom attacks, right? Now, this is for Yum Brands, which is a massive company, but we've seen it on TV for school systems, for hospitals. If you have an email address, if you have a mobile phone that you can SMS on, you are a candidate for ransomware. And what's nice is there are programs in Billy's technology stack for a pretty low cost to train your teams on, hey, when you see this, don't click on it. hey, when you see this, report it to Billy and his IT team to kind of wash it away. So again, that's next month, but I just wanted to kind of set the stage. Let's talk about the voice of the diner, right? So as someone who actually grew up in the restaurant industry, my grandfather, I live up north, my grandfather owned one of those classic silver diners, like old school silver diners. And I remember to this day of sitting on those stools and eating powdered donuts. And it was just wonderful experience. And on a personal note, um, you know, we found out after he passed that each night some homeless people would come to him. This is in the 50s and 60s, and he would feed dozens of homeless people every night. So the restaurant industry really holds a spot in my heart. But how do you know your diners are happy, right? How do you know if that new dish is kicking? How do you know that you dropped a dish and people are like, man, they should have kept that chicken parmesan on the menu? We got to ask them, right? Now, you guys are great store managers, great restaurant managers, and you talk to every diner. And as someone who goes to a restaurant here and there, most of the time, unless it's horrible, I'll say, everything's great, right? Just to make them feel good, make the server feel like he or she's doing a great job. But is that the truth, or am I like, yeah, it's great, but I'm not coming back here again? What if we could survey them, right? Maybe create a placard right on each table. Hey, here's an SMS code to take our survey. Or if you have like a loyalty program, send out SMS to those people. It could be anything from like, hey, have you tried the new chicken parm sub? If you have, let us know what you think, right? That way you can hear what they're saying. What if you could say something like this? Listen, take our survey and be entered in to win a $50 gift card from the restaurant. Have dinner for four on us. Your voice is important. Things like this. These are products that Billy has in his portfolio he can talk to you about today. You have to understand what the diners are saying. And this is an easy way to do it. And believe me, people would rather do SMS than receive a phone call. Hi, do you have a time for a quick survey? Probably not. Or get an email. How many times have you got an email survey? You're like, delete. SMS is a great way. Or tell them, hey, call this number, leave give us the truth, leave your phone number, you entered into a gift card drawing. Try it. Let us know how it works. All right, Billy, last one, last slide. AI, artificial intelligence for restaurants. Billy, have you seen the news recently? You watch any news programs recently? Um,
Yes, it's
uh,
all over the news.
it's all over the news, right? It doesn't matter
Yes.
what news station you listen to. It doesn't matter what newspaper you read, what radio station you listen to. It's an AI world. Okay, so what? Right? It's a classic okay, we need AI. Okay, well, Billy, there's no SKU for AI. I can't Google, give me the SKU for the AI for restaurants. It doesn't exist. What we have to do is really turn into a use case. And here's a couple of use cases for restaurants that, you might find interesting. So we talked about unlimited calling, right? Which is great. But what happens when, Ole Miss plays Mississippi State and you're the local pizza place? Well, your phone blows up, right? Everybody wants their pizza before the game, after the game, everything. So how do you handle that? Well, there's a couple ways to do it. One is you can have callers, if they hit a certain threshold, we can send them to an application in the cloud that says, hey, thanks for calling John's Pizza. I'm your virtual agent. What do you want to order? Yeah, I need 2 cheese pizzas large. I need 3 pepperoni and 4 liters of Coke. Great. Let me repeat that back to you. Great. Can I have do you want this delivered or picked up? Oh, no, we'll pick it up. Great. Your order will be ready in whatever, 1 hour, and it'll be $50.50. Now, so then that order gets sent down to the order team and then they just put it in. Well, what about this? you're slammed, right? You're getting all these orders and everybody's paying on phone with their credit card. So are you gonna pay when you come in or by credit card? Let me pay by credit card. Give me a second. I gotta track that down. Has this happened to everyone out there? How about you people watching on the replay? You know what I'm talking about, right? It's like the Jeopardy clock ticks in, right? Da-na-na-na, as this person figures out his credit card. Well, what if rather than the order taker at the desk when there's five other callers on hold says, listen, I'm going to send you to our secure payment portal. You enter your credit card number in there. And then once that's done, your order will be ready in 45 minutes. You okay with that? Yeah, it sounds fantastic. Okay, please hold. I'm transferring you. So this is two ways that AI can help you out, right? One is we can send them off to do the credit card payment. The other is we can send them off to actually place an order. Billy, uh, when you and I were growing up, AI was all about the Terminator, right?
Right, right.
it was a bad dude. It did no good for humanity. But what I love about AI, when you use it for good, as in these cases, it can really help you grow your revenue for a very small cost. Really, that takes us to the end. Hey Ryan, buddy, I know we got a few folks watching live. Any any
Oh yeah,
possible
we got.
questions out there?
Oh, absolutely. I think you sparked some. I don't know if it was a Terminator comment or just the AI
Always.
that did it. But we got John from Dallas. He's got 10 location franchise. He asks, you talked about UCaaS being the solution to ensuring no one gets busy signal when calling to place an order. What happens if you run out of team members to take calls? I
So
think.
I'll take that. So a couple things. One is, with an auto attendant, you can direct the calls to where they need to go to. But if you still have the calls coming into your counter, for example, you have two choices: either hire more people or you got to put callers on hold. So the best way to put them on hold would be in a call queue so that as they finish taking one order, when they hang up, the next person in line, the phone would ring and that caller could pick them up. And while they're in that call queue on hold, you could be, doing some advertising on hold, telling them about your catering service or your private dining
Awesome.
or, your private meeting rooms.
I love the private meeting rooms. I think that is a great pathway to new revenue, offering that, having AV set up in there. Billy, do you guys do any AV work?
Yes, we do some AV work as well.
So that's great. So if you're watching on replay or watching live, hey John, Dallas, if you're looking to set up that little conference room, Billy can help you with that as well. The other thing is, Billy, that five storefront pizza shop, they were all on one phone system once you put them on UCaaS, right?
That is correct. Yes,
So if I get
that's
super
correct.
busy,
So
I could in theory, maybe pull in somebody from another store to start answering calls and
just,
entering it in. So
yes.
it's a couple things to do. All right. Ryan, great question. Next.
Oh, so we have one. Looks like Audrey. UCAS sounds like a wonderful solution. How does it compare to the cost of a traditional phone system?
So I'm an engineer. I don't talk price. That's what's Billy about. Billy?
Okay, so with the cost of fixed lines or traditional telephone service going up, there's a lot of times that the UCAS will be less money. There's other times it's not less money, but when you look at the potential of increased revenue for increased orders, for example, or just being able to handle more calls with less staff, um, in general, it's a lower cost solution.
Yeah. Um, I'm going to add one thing to that. Let's say you're not ready. Let's say that a via partner system is still kicking. Um, POTS lines, plain old telephone service, been around since like the 30s. Well, last summer, August 2nd, 2023, the FCC said we will no longer regulate POTS lines. And that means two things to you. One is your provider, could be local, could be a national carrier, no longer has to provide that service. At any time, they can give you a 30-day notice, we're not providing that service anymore. The second part, which I think is more interesting, is there's no longer any regulation on pricing. So what you paid $35 for a month ago, CenturyLink can come back to you and say, yeah, this month it's $350. So if you do have any POTS lines, that could be a fax machine, an alarm system, an elevator if you're in a larger facility, or even into that partner system they're not going to get rid of, that's totally cool. Check with Billy. He has some awesome solutions. We
Yes.
in the industry, we have a fun term for it. It's called POTS in a box, right? So it's basically a little device that replaces your POTS line but keeps the phone numbers intact. And it's game changing, and it's at a great price. So um Ryan, I know we have quite a few people online. Any other questions?
I think we have time for one more.
Okay.
It's AI one. So this is pretty cool. So you
Ooh.
mentioned it a little bit in your presentation. Um, can it help me getting the word out about special events, catering? How easy is that to change? Can it be changed? Etc.
Yeah. Good question. So there's yeah, that's a intuitive question. So a few things. You remember how I had that? If you have a loyalty program, right, you're going to capture a phone number and an email address. Well, if it's a loyalty program, it probably means I've eaten there more than once. Because if I ate there once and I wasn't happy, guess who's not joining your loyalty program? This guy, right? So if I join the loyalty program, I must like what you do. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to SMS all your loyalty members and say, hey, loyalty members get a free drink with any purchase. Hey, loyalty members get, kids eat free on Tuesday. Let's say Tuesday is just a dead night for you. You know how you liven that up? You got a bunch of kids running around eating for free, and the parents are like, good, I'm feeding my kids, but it's a good price. So think about if you have a database of your diners, how 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 to how, hmm, how to generate revenue from that, how to generate newness. It could even be like, hey, we have a special menu just this month celebrating our 10th year anniversary. This is the menu we had on day one. We're bringing it back this month only. Come on in, and we have prices from 10 years ago. Who wouldn't want that? Oh, wait a minute. I'm getting the same great food at a lower rate. I'm all in. Think about that. What if you could use the SMS to send a video? Hey, this is how we make the pizza. Doesn't it look good? What if I could send a picture with that? Hey, anybody want taco pizza? What do you think? Should we put it on the menu? Right? Drive, and SMS is the way to go. I'm just saying, drive that loyalty and drive that interaction. Bill, I can't believe you have taco pizza. It's my wife's favorite. We'll be in tonight to eat it. Fantastic. Ryan,
That's awesome. That
how
is
we
awesome.
do? Bill, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, so I want to thank everyone for joining us today. Mike, thank you for being our guest. We'll hope you join us next month when we talk about security and SD-WAN.
Yeah. Yep. And and these viewers can watch this again in case they miss one of my corny jokes. Is that fair?
Yes, it'll be on our website and on all our social media.
Awesome. Thanks, Billy. Thanks, Ryan.
Right.